We're visiting with Jim Miller from the UFC here as we prepare you for UFC on Fox Saturday night, and it'll be the main event as Jim Miller, 21-3, takes on Nate Diaz. And Jim, talk about how you got started in the UFC. Was there a particular event where you got the first phone call, you maybe found out about the news that you were going to get the opportunity to fight in the UFC? Kind of how did that go down?
My brother and I had been fighting for the IFL. I had one fight, he had two, and they ended up folding. And the UFC had shown a little interest in us prior to me fighting for the IFL, so they still had that interest. So they came in and and scooped us up, and it was pretty cool to be signing my first UFC contract, sitting next to my brother.
Jim Miller and Nate Diaz will be in the main event of UFC on Fox on Saturday night. And Jim, from a health standpoint, any injuries, anything in camp you've had to kind of keep an eye on, or are you feeling good and healthy going into this fight?
Feeling good. There's always going to be the typical bumps and bruises. I've been a bit smarter in this fight, and I got nothing, nothing nagging, nothing major. So it's good. It's a confidence builder. I feel good.
Talk about your camp, some of the guys that have helped you out in training and getting ready for Diaz.
I train with all my training partners at AMA Fight Club in Whippany, New Jersey. Includes my brother Dan Miller, Charlie Brenneman, Greg Soto, Mike Pedrano, Sean Santella. We got a good group of guys. That are there to train with and help. And then I've got some of the best coaches in the world. Mike Constantino, my strength and conditioning coach, Martin Rooney. I've been working with Jamie Cruz, Brian McLaughlin, and Johnny Grippo on my jiu-jitsu for this fight. Mike Gibbons for my wrestling, and Nick Avalos for my Thai. So I feel good. I got a great group of guys around me, and that only adds to the confidence and knowing that I'm capable of beating anybody.
Joined by Jim Miller, who will be in the main event versus Nate Diaz, UFC on Fox at the Izod Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Saturday night. Any thoughts on any of the other fights on the card? Koscheck, Hendricks, Paul Harris, Belcher, Barry, Johnson. Any thoughts on any of those fights?
I'm excited to see all of them. It's tough when you're warming up for a fight to pay attention to a fight and not kind of get carried away sometimes because you're about to do the same thing. But they're all good fights, man. They're all very interesting, and I can't think of any that are like a definite pick in any one of them.
Jim, you're a New Jersey guy. You fight and train from up there. Is the crowd going to be on your side Saturday night?
I sure hope so. I sure hope they're on my side and give me a good cheer when I make my way to the octagon, and hopefully a good one when I put Nate away.
So that's the outcome you want. You want to put him away. You're not looking for any sort of decision. You want to put him away then.
Always. That's where I get excited and fired up is finishing somebody. And there's not a guy that steps inside the octagon that doesn't want the finish. Sometimes guys fight a little too conservatively, just looking for that win to get one, but they always want it. So I always want it, and I also tend to fight a little recklessly for it sometimes. But just getting after it. That's what it's about.
Will be a lot of fun in New Jersey Saturday night. Jim Miller versus Nate Diaz, the main event for the UFC on Fox. Hey, Jim, we'll let you go. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Jim Miller joining us here, a UFC fighter, terrific fighter at 21-3, will be in the main event versus Nate Diaz. I'm Vince Ferraris, the New Sentinel Sports Page, brought to you by Image Matters on The Sports Animal.